leadership, half of my people coming over from Europe back in the 16th, 17th century came from Wales. The rest came from Middle England. There were 3 lines that came over on the Mayflower.
That's excellent. You're a genealogist like I am.
Yeah.
I was stationed right here where the hand is. That's Suffolk is what it's called, and that's where Lincoln Heath Air Force Base, or RAF Lincoln. And I actually flew over Wales a lot, because that's a very unpopulated area. And if I go in my office, you'll actually see my plane flying over a beautiful lake. And it's rare to have clear skies in England. They don't have clear skies over there. But it was a rare day that actually you could see blue skies. So my back seater took pictures of me flying right here over the center part of Wales. And also for Americans, everybody's heard of the term Stonehenge. You ever heard of that?
Yes, sir.
You know, it's a famous prehistoric,
Almost.
religious almost. Yeah, but anyway, it's right out here outside of London where my pointer is. But the clincher is they've actually done research on the hinges, the huge stones, and they actually came from all the way over here in Wales. In a special quarry, they found the quarry for the.
Oh, is that possible?
It's amazing. Well, that's part of the mystery.
The people who built it aligned it with solstice.
Yeah, it was probably a
Stonehenge has multiple significances. The stars. And what you're saying, built in Wales, makes sense because they said that they would need earth movers, like our type of earth movers, to move them that sort of distance. No modern day man or even prehistoric man could have done that without.
Well, they did it. Yeah, and
that's why it's crazy.
Just a week ago, guys, you realize also there's talk of Scotland up here on the top part of England to succeed from England and become a separate country again. It used to be a separate country until the children, the King of England married the daughter of Scotland, or vice versa. I'm sorry, the King of England married the King of Scotland married the Queen of England, and they united the country. But now they're talking about succeeding again. It's very interesting. By the way, my family is from Peebles, Scotland. Right here where my hand is, Peebles, Scotland. That's where they came from, and it's actually a Denny, Scotland, up here right in the middle of Scotland. So all my family's from that area originally.
Have you been there?
Oh yeah, I lived there for 3 years.
We visited up there.
Really good.
Enjoyed it, yeah.
All right, so you enjoyed your time then in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm going to ask a question, sir. What was your highest rank in all 3 of the services?
Master Sergeant.
Master Sergeant in what, sir?
In the Air Force. I retired as the Master Sergeant. Did you ever know of Colonel Sporer, S-P-O-R-E-R?
No, do not know him.
He was the base commander at Tyndall when I was there.
Okay, well actually let's show them where it's at. So guys, this is Europe, okay? And then to fly to Tyndall Air Force Base,
I knew a young officer at Colorado Springs. I was stationed up there for a while at Peterson Field. You ever been up there?
oh yeah, I've flown out of Peterson. Tyndall Air Force Base, guys, is on the west part of Florida. This is the famous Panhandle of Florida. And over here on the west coast is a base called Tyndall Air Force Base. And this is exactly where I was stationed prior to coming to Prescott. And you can actually see that Tyndall Air Force Base, they actually have the Air Force Base on a peninsula. And I flew F-15s out of there for six years or so. Where'd you live when you were there?
We were in a base house.
Lived on base.
Yeah.
I actually lived right here in this cove, right here across the way. It was real close. And the thing, guys, I love is these islands. You could actually walk out to these islands or take your boat. I ended up having a boat. And they were deserted, absolutely deserted islands that you go to. And it's the thing that these part of Florida is very famous for is the white beaches. The beaches are as white as talcum powder, whiter than sugar, literally. And it's just so white it looks like snow. And you can go to these deserted beaches and pick up sand dollars and conchs and all these other shells.
Why is it called the Crooked Islands, sir? Which was good.
It's Korea, of course.
I mean, I thought that
Why
was
do they
some
call it
other
white
stuff.
sand?
I thought they had some of those.
And what is interesting, guys, you guys are East or West Coast kids, but you see, actually they have the Appalachian Mountains, which are right here where I'm, you know, they come up down the East Coast, Appalachians. They're not very large. Again, your feet are 6,000 feet above sea level. The Appalachians are 3,000, maybe 3,500 feet tall. They're the oldest mountain range in the world, the oldest. And they used to be taller than the Rocky Mountains. Really. And so through erosion, one grain at a time, they're now down as low as 3,000, 4,000 feet. They used to be 20,000 feet high. So the question is, where did all that rock and sand erode to?
Down to the, down where Florida is, sir?
Right down to Panama City, Florida, and all that sand, the white sands that I'm telling you about, that are crystal clear white, originally came from the Appalachian Mountains up and down the West Coast. Of course, some of them came down to the beaches over here, but they're not nearly as white because it's not the quartz. But it's a real interesting place to live. It's totally different from this. So you know about another part of the world. So you really did like Tyndall Air Force Base then? Huh?
It was a good thing.
As different from here as you can imagine.
Yeah. While I was in Colorado Springs, I met a young officer up there. You may or may not have heard of his name is Yule Wainwright. His name mean anything to you, Wainwright?
No, sir.
Edgar Joe, still no. General Wainwright was the leader in the Chinese World War II.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this guy was his grandson.
Jonathan Wainwright?
Yule D. Wainwright.
Oh, okay, so Jonathan was the general.
Yeah. And he was a young first lieutenant in Colorado Springs, one of our officers. And he wound up in Tyndall and was the lieutenant colonel when I saw him down there. And he took one of his airplanes out and crashed it and killed himself. No slap?
I sure did.
While I was at Williams Air Force Base, I went through the altitude chamber so I could be qualified to fly in that T-bird.
Great. Well, let me show them the T-bird.
That's the most beautiful ride I ever had. And T-bird, I've got about 60 hours of those things.
Of course, everything on the So tell them about you flying the T-bird. They've never heard of that.
T-bird is the T-33, which is the basic, at that time was the basic jet trainer. And first jet I ever rode it. And I had to go through an altitude chamber to be qualified to ride in it. And every time somebody, we'd have an officer going out to Hamilton Air Force Base to pick up a part for the general's airplane. We had 21 general officers at Colorado Springs, to include the Army, Navy, Air Force,
21.
and Canadians.
Wow, 21. That's a lot. So they had to do a lot of maintenance on the T-birds.
Yeah. So,
I have a picture of the T-bird up there behind you, and it's a nice plane.
Did you say Canadians?
yeah, we had NORAD as a joint command between the Americans and Canada together.
Wow.
That's NORAD, North American Air Defense Command, takes in the whole continent.
All right, we have about 10 minutes to go. Guys, y'all have any questions?
Yes.
What was your favorite branch?
Oh, the Air Force, without a doubt. A little side story about this, I convinced the young fellow, just getting out of high school, this was doing the first Gulf War. And he was all gung-ho, he wanted to go Marine Corps or Army Rangers or something. And I told him, well then, now if you want to sleep in the mud and eat out of the can, go Army. If you want to sleep in a cot between sheets and eat in a mess hall, go Air Force. I convinced him to go Air Force. And today, he was spent 12 or 14 years in the Air Force, and he was given a hell of a good education. He became a maintenance man for atomic weapons. And the outfit that builds them hired him right out of the Air Force for a 6-figure income.
Wow.
He's making lots of money today.
Tell them about being a Badger back in 1944, because they're sitting here almost 70 years later.
Well, it was a great thing. We had a good group of kids. I put together a booklet. I went down to the Charlotte Hall Museum. They had the archives for the local newspaper, the Courier. And I went through all the 1944 records and dug out the team's experience and whatnot.
Okay.
And constructed a little booklet and wrote some things about it. And the guy down there at the Charlotte Hall knew what I was doing, and he asked me if he could have a copy when I got done, and I said, sure. So I had an extra copy made, gave it to him, and a week later I got a letter from Charlotte Hall Museum saying that my booklet has been accepted as reference material. It'll be on the shelf now forever.
That's great.
I wrote about that team, and in the last 3 pages I listed every member of the team, what they had done for their lives, and the majority of them, probably 75% of them, wound up being teachers, principals, district presidents. They were educators. And I titled that thing, Our Own Greatest Generation, with apologies to Tom Brokaw.
That's good. That's right.
I got some notes here about some things I want to tell you. You're in your golden age right now. Very soon you're going to have to be out in the world, cold, cruel world all by yourself. And you'll have to look to yourself for everything you get. But right now, you've got good parents that are supporting you, buying you things, feeding you, taking you what you need. So utilize this time to the best of your ability and get a damn good education. I want to tell you about the best skill I ever learned in the military. Now, when you're in the military, you're either at war or you're practicing for war. Exercises and whatnot.
War games.
And while I was in the military, I learned a skill that's been the greatest skill I ever learned throughout my life. I've used it for all my life. And that I went to a supply school in Fort Lee, Virginia in 1948 for the Army. And in order to graduate there, you had to be able to type 40 words a minute, touch time. And I did it. And that's the greatest skill I ever learned in about 22 years in the military.
Wow.
Is that a type?
And today, with the computers, everybody's got to know how to type. So if you don't know, get busy and learn. It'll certainly help you. I want to show you what else I've done. My son, several years ago, started pestering me about the Korean War. And I told him what I could remember. I decided, well, I think I'll just write it down and read it. And I decided, well, I'll have to start at the beginning. So I wrote a book, and it's called How to See the World the Hard Way, The Unsolicited Memoirs of Benjamin Robinson.
Good.
That's me. These are my memoirs. And I'm not just telling you about these for looking for any pride or anything. I want to convince you that everybody in this world, you included, you have a story to tell. And if you don't tell it, it won't be told. Write it up when you get to a point in life where you think you should be. And I even got pictures
Is that you, sir? or- I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Here, point out to the camera there, there you go.
This is the football team, the juniors on the football team.
What's your number, sir? Oh, is that
41.
Oh, there you are.
41.
There. Jeez, it's like an AT&T side.
Yeah.
They're huge.
And one of those boys, the little one was Ernie Bourne. Ernie Bourne was the son of Dr. Bourne. I don't know if anybody remembers him. Dr. Bourne was my mother's doctor for 40 years up there. Here's a picture of me. I had hair in those days.
You had hair in those days? We have about 2 minutes, sir.
So,
You have a question back?
Uh,
Sir, you have a question back?
yeah, go ahead.
Here, sir, do you know Bill Converse?
Oh, yes.
That's my
Bill and I
grandpa.
played on the same football team.
Yeah, that's my grandpa.
Yeah, I know Bill very well. I think there's a picture of you with the football team.
Okay, any other questions?